You watch, do not blink. The world is not gentle, it does not wait. It waits only for weakness, and it devours without mercy. Harden yourself now before the first crack appears in your heart. Before you even realize you are vulnerable, the world will strike. And it will strike where you least expect it. Fear is the first betrayal. It creeps like frost along your spine, whispering lies, trust, hope, care. These are the chains that will bind you, chains you do not even see until they break your bones. Look at yourself, look at the reflection you hide from. You see the soft skin, the trembling hands, the naive desire to be seen. That desire will be your undoing. Do you remember the last time you trusted? The day your confidant smiled in your face and plunged a knife into your back. You told them everything, your plans, your weaknesses, your dreams, and they consumed them. Every piece of you they could reach, they took. You learned nothing, you learned wrong, no, you survived, but only because a part of you froze. That part is the part that must live. The city outside your window is empty tonight. Streets glisten wet, reflecting fractured lights, shadows lengthening like the claws of the world reaching for you. Listen to the silence. Every footstep echoes like a warning. Every whisper of wind is a reminder that solitude is your only sanctuary. Trust no one to hold your flame. Only you can carry it. Only you can prevent it from being extinguished. You must become stone, not cold by choice, but cold by necessity. Your emotions are weapons, or they are weaknesses. Allow love, hope, or fear to guide your steps, and the world will grind you into dust. Harden your mind, harden your body, harden your decisions. A memory surfaces, one small, fleeting moment of kindness that betrayed you, a hand held, a promise made, a smile that hid teeth sharp as daggers. You fell into it, and for a second you believed. That second cost you everything. You will not fall again. The frost spreads within you now, an armor against the chaos. Listen carefully. Everyone you meet is an enemy first. Even friends, especially friends, their loyalty is a mirage, their kindness a trap. They watch your hesitation, your softness, your fleeting moments of doubt, and when they find it, when they smell the warmth of your heart, they will consume it. And the moment you care, they will devour you whole. Do not forget this. The ice is not a lesson. It is a law, and laws are not questioned. They are obeyed. You have survived until now by chance, by luck, by the unseen mercy of those weaker than you. But luck is a fragile thing. The moment it abandons you, you must already be ready, hardened, stone, untouchable. The next step awaits, the next betrayal, the next mask to see through, the next shadow to endure. Because the world outside is waiting, and it does not forgive. You think the world shows its teeth only in moments of crisis. No, the teeth are always there, hidden behind smiles, behind handshakes, behind the warmth they feign. Every person you meet wears a mask, some subtle, some grotesque, and your survival depends on reading the cracks before they strike. Do not let appearances fool you. Do not fall for the easy charm, the practiced politeness, the laughter that lingers too long. Every mask has a hinge, every smile has a sharp edge, and you, if you are not stone, will bleed before you see it coming. Do you remember Elias, the one you called a friend, trusted beyond reason, the one who whispered promises in the dead of night, who swore loyalty like a blade against your chest? You believed him, you shared your fears, your plans, your most secret desires, and then, without warning, his loyalty fractured, his eyes hardened, his hands reached not to lift you up, but to tear you down. I always knew you'd crumble, he said, voice smooth, almost tender, but I never imagined it would be so easy. You froze, a flash of disbelief, then anger, then the cold realization this was always the plan. His kindness, his attention, every word had been a trap. The betrayal was a mirror. He reflected what you had allowed yourself to trust, what you had dared to show, and in that reflection your weakness glimmered like a fire you thought was hidden. Outside, the night deepens. The empty streets echo with the soft crunch of your own steps, the wind carrying whispers you do not trust. Shadows stretch long, dancing on walls like predators circling prey. You are alone, you are always alone, and that is the only truth you can count on. You study every smile, every tilt of the head, every glance that lingers too long. The lesson is simple: trust no one fully. Read the masks, learn the language of betrayal. The ones who seem closest will often be the first to strike, and their strikes are precise, surgical, devastating. You will never allow yourself to fall for that warmth again. The memory of Elias is a scar, burning, permanent, necessary. Let it remind you that human faces are nothing but masks, and masks hide teeth. Your hands tremble for a fraction of a second, not from fear, but from the exhilaration of clarity. The world is clear now, transparent, brutal, and you are watching, waiting, learning, because the moment you let your guard drop, the world moves in silently. Smiles become knives, laughter becomes a trap, loyalty becomes an illusion, and you, if you are not prepared, will disappear beneath the mask of another. Everyone smiles. Until they sharpen their knife, you do not look away. Desire is not harmless. Desire is fire, and fire, when left unchecked, consumes everything in its pathing, including you. Every craving, every longing, every fixation is a leash, and every leash can tighten until you can no longer breathe. Do you remember her, the one who haunted your thoughts, the one whose presence made the world blur at the edges? You chased her like a moth drawn to a flame, ignoring the shadows gathering around you, ignoring the warning signs that whispered, "Stop." You did not listen. You could not. Obsession has no patience. Obsession does not negotiate. Every step you took was dictated by the hunger you could not quench. Every decision bent beneath her gravity. And in the end, the fire you nurtured burned you first. Doors slammed in your face, smiles turned cold, allies vanished. You were left standing among ashes, clutching the memory of what you thought you could possess. Listen carefully. The world does not care about your fixations. It does not bend for your longing. It does not pause for your attachment. It watches, it waits, and when it sees your control slipping, it strikes. Obsession is the trap you lay for yourself, a cage built of your own desire, and the bars are invisible until you are already trapped. You will find yourself revisiting every moment, the fleeting touch, the whispered words, the spark that ignited everything. The mind twists these memories into justification, hope, dreams that will never be fulfilled, but these are illusions, illusions that disguise the truth. The more you want, the weaker you become. The more you cling, the easier you are to break. Outside, the night presses close. Shadows curl around corners, stretch across empty streets, and mirror your inner chaos. Silence becomes a companion, mocking, relentless, exposing the tremors of your obsession. You must learn to step back, to watch without reaching, to feel without surrendering. Do not mistake attention for control. Do not mistake infatuation for power. Every desire, unchecked, becomes a chain, and every chain can shatter the strongest resolve. You are watching, you are learning, you are cold, but not yet cold enough, want too much, and the world will take it all. You look into the mirror, do not flinch, do not turn away. Who stares back is not the person you think you are. The face, the eyes, the trembling line of your jaw, they are fragments, shards of a self you have tried to control, to contain, to define. But definition is an illusion. Identity is a battlefield, and every choice you make fractures it further. Do you remember the night you lied to protect someone, or the moment you abandoned a part of yourself to survive? Those fragments linger like shadows in empty rooms, stretching longer as the storm outside presses against the walls. Every decision splits you in two, the self you show and the self you hide, and the more you hide, the more the storm inside grows. Empty streets stretch before you, rain slick and gleaming, reflecting flickers of streetlights and fractured faces. Your own reflection dances among them, multiplied and distorted. Who are you beneath the armor, beneath the frost? The world does not care. The world does not wait. It demands you present a face, a mask, a version of yourself that will survive its cruelty. But which face is real, and does it matter when all masks are eventually torn away? A memory surfaces, a choice you made in haste, a promise broken, a trust abandoned. That moment, small then, becomes an avalanche now. You replay it, dissect it, feel the fracture spreading through your chest. Identity is a game of mirrors, each reflecting the other until the edges blur, and you can no longer tell reality from reflection, self from shadow. You will meet others who do the same. They will test you, twist you, push you toward cracks you did not know existed. Their words are gentle, their hands guiding, their smiles illuminating, but every light casts a shadow. Every push leaves a mark. You must learn to recognize these fractures before they consume you entirely. The storm intensifies outside, thrashing against windows, rattling doors, echoing the turmoil within. The wind carries whispers, voices of those who have sought to define you, shape you, destroy you. And you, if you are not vigilant, will allow yourself to be remade in their image. But the cold teaches you to resist. The ice teaches you to endure. The shards of your identity can be reforged into something stronger, sharper, untouchable. Step carefully, watch closely. The storm is patient, the world is patient, and those who wait will strike precisely where you are most divided. Know yourself, or let the storm of others define you.
You, stand still. Feel the weight of desire pressing against your chest. Power is a hunger, subtle, insidious, and it does not knock. It seeps in, silent, unnoticed, until it has already taken root. Do not underestimate it. The world bows only to those who wield it, and even then, it tests every grip, every breath, every pulse. Do you remember Marcus? The one who smiled at your ambition while tightening the chains around your mind? He offered guidance, mentorship, friendship, but every word was a strategy, every gesture a trap. You believed you controlled the game. You believed you directed the moves. And yet, he had already mapped your weaknesses, cataloged your desires, and built his empire on your oversight. Control is an illusion, he whispered once, leaning close enough for the scent of his arrogance to invade your senses. The more you try to hold it, the faster it slips. Every lesson, every demonstration, was a test. Subtle manipulations, like wind against brittle branches, bending you without breaking. You learned the tactics too late, the patterns too late. By the time realization struck, power had already consumed you, not as victory, but as dependency. Every action you took, every calculated move, was a reaction to the force he had planted within you. The city stretches before you in shadows, alleys slick with rain, lights trembling against the darkness. Every street is a battlefield. Every silence carries potential threat. Every glance hides intent. Power is not given. It is seized, stolen, forced from the reluctant, and defended with fire and precision. There is no morality here, only calculation. And morality is the weapon of the weak. Remember the nights you stayed awake, planning, scheming, measuring influence, trying to rise above others? Those nights were crucibles, burning the naive part of you away. But even as you rose, a shadow trailed. Power is never neutral. The hunger lingers, gnaws, and expands. You are never free of it. You think you lead. You think you dictate. But in truth, power dictates through you, molding your actions, shaping your desires, whispering commands you believe are your own. You must recognize the trap before it binds you entirely. Observe, calculate, dominate, but never become enslaved to the very force you pursue. A single misstep, a single lapse, and the hunger devours what remains of your autonomy. Step carefully. Each move is a risk, each alliance a potential betrayal, each smile a sharpened blade waiting behind it. The shadows are patient, and the hunger is patient. Both will wait, silently, until they find the cracks in your resolve. You reach for power, only to discover it has already consumed you. You. Do not flinch. Do not soften. Every feeling is a weapon, or a wound. And wounds, left untreated, fester into poison. You have loved. You have trusted. And each time, the world has returned only betrayal. Every heartbeat carries a potential blade, every whisper a hidden sting. Learn to wield it, or be consumed. Do you remember Clara? The one whose words once lured you into warmth. You thought her smile was safe. You thought her touch could heal. You thought her loyalty was unshakable. You were wrong. Each kindness was a trap, each promise a carefully calculated step in a dance you did not even know you were performing. I always give exactly what you want, just to see what you'll do with it, she said once, eyes gleaming like shattered glass. The words cut deeper than any blade. You felt the truth in them. Manipulation is subtle, it is elegant, it is invisible, until it is too late. Outside, the wind moans through empty streets. Shadows twist and flicker under the sickly glow of broken streetlights. Silence presses against the walls, thick and suffocating, broken only by the distant echo of footsteps that are not yours. Every corner holds potential danger, every shadow a reflection of your own inner tremors. The city itself seems aware of your fragility, feeding off the tremors of unguarded hearts. You learn quickly. Revenge is a dish sharpened to perfection, and cruelty is a language you must master if you are to survive. Every smile you return, every hand you extend, carries weight. Every act of generosity, every spark of compassion, must be measured against the risk of exploitation. Emotional investment is currency, and currency is never returned freely. You practice restraint. You practice control. Trembling hands clutch the memories of what you thought you could hold. The echoes of laughter, of betrayal, of the warmth that no longer exists. They become tools, become fuel, become poison that courses through your veins. Each betrayal, each heartbreak, is no longer a wound. It is preparation. It is discipline. It is ice forming in the chamber of your heart. Watch closely. Learn to anticipate the strikes. Do not give away your flame. Feed it, yes, but feed it with calculated caution. Let the world see a heartbeat, and they will hunger for it. Let them taste the warmth, and they will bite. Let them believe they hold power, and they will take it. Your heart beats, but only to feed the poison within. You. Do not flinch. Do not soften. Every feeling is a weapon, or a wound. And wounds, left untreated, fester into poison. You have loved. You have trusted. And each time, the world has returned only betrayal. Every heartbeat carries a potential blade, every whisper a hidden sting. Learn to wield it, or be consumed. Do you remember Clara? The one whose words once lured you into warmth. You thought her smile was safe. You thought her touch could heal. You thought her loyalty was unshakable. You were wrong. Each kindness was a trap, each promise a carefully calculated step in a dance you did not even know you were performing. I always give exactly what you want, just to see what you'll do with it, she said once, eyes gleaming like shattered glass. The words cut deeper than any blade. You felt the truth in them. Manipulation is subtle, it is elegant, it is invisible, until it is too late. Outside, the wind moans through empty streets. Shadows twist and flicker under the sickly glow of broken streetlights. Silence presses against the walls, thick and suffocating, broken only by the distant echo of footsteps that are not yours. Every corner holds potential danger, every shadow a reflection of your own inner tremors. The city itself seems aware of your fragility, feeding off the tremors of unguarded hearts. You learn quickly. Revenge is a dish sharpened to perfection, and cruelty is a language you must master if you are to survive. Every smile you return, every hand you extend, carries weight. Every act of generosity, every spark of compassion, must be measured against the risk of exploitation. Emotional investment is currency, and currency is never returned freely. You practice restraint. You practice control. Trembling hands clutch the memories of what you thought you could hold. The echoes of laughter, of betrayal, of the warmth that no longer exists, they become tools, become fuel, become poison that courses through your veins. Each betrayal, each heartbreak, is no longer a wound. It is preparation. It is discipline. It is ice forming in the chamber of your heart. Watch closely. Learn to anticipate the strikes. Do not give away your flame. Feed it, yes, but feed it with calculated caution. Let the world see a heartbeat, and they will hunger for it. Let them taste the warmth, and they will bite. Let them believe they hold power, and they will take it. Your heart beats, but only to feed the poison within. You, stand still. Do not waver. The world is patient. It waits. It watches. It weighs every breath, every hesitation, every flicker of warmth that betrays your presence. There is no mercy in survival. There is only the verdict, and it is cold. Stone cold. The lesson is simple, but brutal. Weakness will not be forgiven. Vulnerability will be punished. And sentiment will always betray you first. Remember the betrayals that came before. Remember Clara, Elias, Marcus, the faces that smiled and turned knives. Each left its mark, each taught its lesson. They were warnings, not punishments. The punishment is reserved for those who forget. The punishment is the world itself, ruthless and indifferent, closing in with shadows and storms, waiting to claim what softness remains in your heart. Do you feel the wind tonight? It sweeps the empty streets, rattles the windows, and carries whispers of the lives that faltered, the hearts that cracked, the ambitions that rotted beneath trust. Each gust is a reminder that the world is never still. You cannot pause, you cannot linger. There is no reprieve for sentiment, no sanctuary for hope. Only the vigilant survive. Only the cold endure. Step into the streets of your mind. Look at the reflections in the puddles. The fractured images of yourself stare back, multiple faces, multiple identities, all forged from the trials, the betrayals, the obsessions, the poison you have endured. These are not weaknesses, they are lessons hardened into steel. Each crack, each scar, each fracture is evidence that you have survived, that you have endured, that you have become untouchable. The world tests you constantly. Every glance, every gesture, every smile from another carries intent, hidden and precise. They measure your warmth, your hesitation, your humanity, and they exploit it. You must respond not with outrage, not with fear, not with sentiment, but with measured strategy. Stone replaces flesh. Ice replaces pulse. Precision replaces emotion. Your heart no longer beats for others. It beats only to calculate, to observe, to endure. Flashbacks arrive unbidden, like shadows flitting across walls in the storm. The betrayals, the obsessions, the hunger for power, they are not memories of failure. They are practice. They are drills in ruthlessness, training for the ultimate confrontation with reality itself. Each lesson burns into your psyche, leaving no room for softness, no space for illusion. You are awake now, fully awake, fully armed against the world's cruelty. And yet, the truth is darker still. The world does not merely threaten you. It does not merely test you. It will consume anyone who falters, even for a heartbeat. Only the truly cold escape unscathed. Only those who have embraced stone-cold resolve can walk through storms and shadows without fear. Compassion is optional. Mercy is fatal. Trust is irrelevant. The world does not notice, does not care, and will not wait. It demands the hardened, the vigilant, the implacable. Step forward into the storm. Feel the wind tear at your coat, the rain sting your skin, the darkness press closer with every step. Let it remind you of everything you have endured, everything you have survived. Your mind is sharpened, your instincts precise, your resolve unshakable. You have mastered the poison, the obsession, the fractured self, the hunger for power, the betrayals. You are beyond warmth, beyond fear, beyond hope. The final truth settles in, like frost over every surface. Survival is not granted. Survival is taken. Survival is carved from the flesh of your own weaknesses, molded into unyielding ice. And those who hesitate, who falter, who care, they are gone before they understand the lesson. You have already endured the tests. You have already faced the betrayals, the obsessions, the hunger, the poison. And now you are ready. Stone, cold, calculated, untouchable. And this is how the cold survive. You. Look closer. Do not turn away. Fear is not weakness. Fear is a weapon, sharp, precise, and infinitely patient. It is the whisper in the dark, the tremor in your hands, the shadow stretching where light should be. It does not need to strike to dominate. It simply waits, reflecting your every doubt, magnifying it, until hesitation becomes paralysis. Do you remember the first time you froze? The moment your instincts screamed to move, but your body betrayed you? It was a revelation, a lesson etched in adrenaline and sweat. The world will exploit the smallest tremor, the slightest falter, and your enemy will never forgive ignorance. Fear is the lens through which the world measures you, and it is merciless. A memory surfaces, the abandoned alley, the footsteps closing in, the cold blade you never saw until it was too late. Your heartbeat thundered like a drum, but every beat carried terror instead of rhythm. That terror became a cage. You realized then that fear was not simply to be survived. It could be manipulated, sharpened, turned outward, and used as leverage over others. The weak fear everything. The strong use that fear as their shadow, their silent accomplice, their invisible sword. Outside, the night presses heavy, thick with rain and mist. Streetlights flicker as if unsure of themselves. Shadows twist and lengthen, moving in rhythm with your own breathing, your own panic. Every gust of wind carries a threat you cannot see. Every echo a reminder that fear is omnipresent, patient, and strategic. You are both prey and predator. Do not dismiss it. Do not resist it blindly. Observe. Control. Harness the tremor in your chest. Allow it to guide your perception, sharpen your senses, and anticipate attacks before they arrive. Fear can immobilize, but it can also illuminate the cracks in others, the weak spots, the points where hesitation will betray them. The mirror reflects not just your terror, but theirs. The city itself seems complicit, a vast labyrinth of shadows and whispers, each alley an experiment, each darkened doorway a test of nerve. Every encounter, every choice, every hesitation is magnified, and only those who can bend fear to their will move unscathed. Those who cannot are consumed by it, swallowed whole by the terror they cannot master. Step carefully. Observe the reflections, the trembling hands, the shallow breaths of those who think themselves safe. Learn their patterns, their weaknesses, their dread. Fear is contagious, but mastery of it is power. Watch. Wait. Strike. And always remember, the mirror is never lying. Fear sees you, knows you, and waits. You. Stand still. Listen. The world is speaking, but it will not do so in words. Power does not shout, it whispers. Influence does not demand, it insinuates. Restraint, inaction, and observation are the most lethal weapons you can wield, and yet the majority of the world fails to see this. They act too soon, speak too loudly, reveal too much. And you will learn to wait. Do not move. Do not react. The enemy assumes your silence is weakness. They mistake your watchfulness for hesitation. They believe that the world can be forced through motion, that power is measured by action. Let them believe it. Let them reach, strike, and stumble upon their own overconfidence. Every rash decision they make, every misstep born of their arrogance, becomes yours to harvest. Silence is dominion, inaction is strategy. Do you remember the council room, the conference of whispers and veiled threats? Every voice was a weapon, every glance a challenge. Yet you said nothing. You did not rise, did not interject, did not reveal the breadth of your awareness. And as the hours passed, the cracks in their armor became visible. Alliances faltered, loyalties shifted, ambitions collided. Those who prattled the loudest, who sought to dominate, revealed themselves most clearly. By the end, the room was yours, not by conquest, but by quiet observation. Observe closely. Every gesture, every fleeting expression, every subtle inflection carries meaning. Notice the way their fingers twitch when fear or greed touches them. Watch how their eyes dart when deception clouds the air. Their movements betray their intentions before their words ever do. Power lies not in responding first, but in discerning the right moment to act, or choosing never to act at all. Outside, the storm has settled, leaving only the lingering tension of what was and what is yet to come. The city is hushed, streets slick with reflection, shadows stretching long into the night. This is your domain now, but only because you understand the language of silence. You move among them unseen, unchallenged, a predator cloaked in patience. The world is not loud, it is subtle, and those who cannot hear its whispers will fall. Do not mistake this for passivity. There is energy in stillness, power in withholding. Inaction is not absence, it is presence masked as restraint. While others speak, you learn. While others act, you assess. While others burn themselves out in futile displays of force, you conserve your strength, sharpen your mind, and wait for the precise moment when the smallest movement will yield the largest consequence. Consider the banker who flaunted wealth, the politician who thrived on spectacle, the rival who sought to dominate with bluster. Each believed that volume equaled authority, that force equaled influence. And each fell. Slowly, methodically, predictably. The cracks appeared first in whispers, then in hesitant movements, then in outright mistakes. You observed. You calculated. You waited. And when the time came, you moved, not with panic, not with noise, but with precision. One gesture, one word, one decision, and the balance shifted irreversibly in your favor. Every human ambition, every desperate grasp for attention, contains its own undoing. Those who speak too much, act too fast, or reveal too soon are like paper left too close to flame. Their hubris is their weakness. Your restraint is your weapon. Let them stumble over themselves. Let them reveal the fractures you have anticipated. Silence allows you to see the world as it truly is, not as they pretend it to be, not as they wish you to perceive, but in all its raw, unforgiving honesty. Micro-stories haunt the mind. The merchant who whispered secrets to the wrong ear, the soldier who acted on impulse and betrayed his allies, the lover who spoke before knowing. All of them demonstrate the cost of failing to master silence. Every mistake is a lesson. Every reveal is a mirror. Every downfall is a guidepost for the one who has learned to wait. Control the narrative by saying nothing. Influence the outcome by letting others exhaust themselves. Let their ambition blind them. Let their anger guide them. Let their greed dictate their movements. You are the observer, the invisible hand, the shadow in the corner that no one notices until it is too late. This is the quiet dominion, the mastery of restraint. Even when confrontation arises, even when chaos encroaches, maintain your composure. Let others lash out, let them miscalculate, let them betray themselves through their own emotions. Silence amplifies observation. It heightens awareness. It sharpens the mind to notice patterns invisible to the rash, the impulsive, the impatient. And when the moment comes, and it always comes, act decisively. Strike with precision, wielding every lesson gathered in patience. Those who mocked your restraint, those who doubted your stillness, will fall first. And as they do, you remain untouched, unshaken, untouchable. Silence has been your shield, your strategy, your weapon. Step into the night with eyes wide open. Watch carefully. The world is speaking, but only those who listen will hear. Only those who wait will survive. Only the cold understand that sometimes, inaction is the greatest action of all. The next lesson waits. Shadows of consequence gather. The final truths are yet to be revealed, and only the vigilant, the patient, the stone-hearted will endure. You. Pause. Breathe. The lessons are complete, but the truth is heavier than you imagined. All that you have endured, the betrayals, the obsessions, the hunger, the poison, the silence, was not preparation for the world. It was preparation for yourself. The ultimate enemy is not outside. It has always been within. Your mind. Your heart. Your desire to trust, to hope, to care. These are the vulnerabilities the world exploits, and the cold understand this more deeply than any weapon, any strategy, any blade. Look back on every shadow, every whisper, every trembling step you survived. Each fracture, each scar, each betrayal was a mirror reflecting not just the cruelty of others, but the potential cruelty within you. Machiavelli's lesson is not simply about domination. It is about survival, about anticipating the intentions of others, and most importantly, about mastering yourself. Control your fear, your desire, your empathy, and you hold the power that others will never see. Lose it, and you will be devoured, silently, efficiently, inevitably. Remember every encounter, the smiles that hid knives, the words that bent truths, the silences that concealed attacks. You learn to watch, to calculate, to remain untouchable. Yet the forbidden lesson lies not in what you observed, but in what you became. To survive, you cannot merely act strategically. You must think strategically, feel strategically, even bleed strategically. Your emotions, once weaknesses, must be harnessed. Your instincts, once chaotic, must become weapons. Your mind, once a battlefield, must be an arsenal. Do not mistake mastery for morality. The world does not reward kindness, it exploits it. It does not honor loyalty, it consumes it. Compassion is a risk. Love is a vulnerability. Even your silence, your patience-forged patience is only a tool if wielded with precision. The stone-hearted understand that every act, every gesture, every thought has consequences that ripple far beyond immediate perception. A memory surfaces, your first betrayal, your first heartbreak, your first taste of failure. That moment, once painful, is now crystallized into clarity. You realize that survival is not passive. It is active, deliberate, and often uncomfortable. The world does not bend to sentiment. It does not pause for hope. It punishes delay, indecision, and softness. To endure is not to endure with grace. It is to endure with strategy, ruthlessness, and a readiness to exploit even the smallest advantages. Step into your reflection. Look at the person who emerged from shadows, obsessions, betrayals, hunger, poison, and silence. This self is not naive. This self is not soft. This self is stone, cold, calculated, and yet it is alive in a way few will ever know. Because life is not fair. Life is not just. Life is merciless, and only the cold survive. The final truth settles like frost over every corner of your mind. Power, observation, restraint, strategy, emotional mastery, these are not merely lessons. They are survival. They are the forbidden path the world hides from the weak. They are the rules that cannot be taught, only learned through consequence, through pain, through endurance. And now, you have learned them all. Step forward. The storm is behind you, the shadows linger, and yet the world awaits. You are prepared, unflinching, untouchable. The stone within you does not crack. The ice in your veins does not melt. You are ready for anything the world dares to throw. And this is how the cold survive.